And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Richter, Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How do you do it?
you
Teach me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile going on some shoes, but.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when it's
try
time,
this with you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, terrific Tuesday night. It is Tuesday night, y'all. Damn, what a crazy ass day it has been for me. Sorry. It's been a little bit of a busy one. Had some breaking news, which we, of course, will talk about. There was a couple breaking today. Something that was really big, in regards to Ellen Page. And then, of course, we got something else that has to do with William Barr, which we will talk about here very, very shortly. But I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, terrific, productive Tuesday evening. I don't know about you, but it has been one busy ass day for me. For me, it's been very busy. Can't complain. I like being busy, but it's been just nonstop running around, and now I'm here. Yes, God is good all the time. Anyway, we got my brother, David, in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, man. It's going good here. How you guys? Is everything going good out there? How's about your that dog you got about to have babies?
Yeah, it has been a busy one over here because I have a dog that is prego with puppies, and she is about to deliver any day now. So it has been, and I got a girlfriend that is absolutely obsessed. Let's just say that, understandably. But she is very focused on my dog delivering. And so it seems like every 5 seconds I'm taking the dog's temperature. And yeah, it's been one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Can't complain because life is good. And the beauty of bringing life into the world is dope, even when it's with a dog, even when it's puppies. But she is really on my butt going, all right, did you take temperature? What's the temperature now? What's the temperature now? Like she's just chomping at the bit, ready for this dog to just start popping these puppies out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm a little exhausted. It's been a little bit of a busy day, a little stressful, but it's okay. It's okay. As soon as these puppies get here, I ain't going to be sleeping. That's what's so funny about it. Trust me. I will be the one, because I'm a guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dude. So when it comes to dogs, like, don't get me wrong, I love my dogs. I love dogs. I love my dogs. But I don't take it as seriously. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not like, the dog yelped, that means it's dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that guy. Yeah. Like, I'll be like, babe, they're dogs. They're going to be fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's yelping because it's a dog. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, just leave it alone. Like, I want to go back to sleep. Let a man sleep. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's a baby, that's another conversation. Human baby, totally different conversation. Goo goo gaga, that's a different story. But dogs, come on. They're dogs. Not saying anything rude about dogs. They have feelings too. But at the same time, sometimes, man, just peace be with you, man. You know what I'm saying? The dogs are going to be fine. They dogs. They going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, David?
Yeah, I mean, dogs are a lot tougher than human babies, it seems.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, Yeah. But, you know, my girl's
Really?
super hype about these dogs. Like, super, super hype. To the point where it's like, and I get it. It's cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, aw, you know what I mean? They're puppies. And I'm excited about bringing them into the world, too. Or, you know, welcoming them into the world. But at the same damn time, though, I'm like, bruh, like, they dogs. Just let them be with their mama. Let them nurse. Let them feed. And let them grow. You know?
Yeah, that's the kind of busyness that's very stressful, where you have to keep answering to people and checking on things.
You know what I'm
instead of
saying?
just doing your own work.
You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. When I have children, because I have no children, I know for a fact I will never sleep. I'll be super paranoid. I'll be like, but the entire time. But when it comes to puppies, bruh, like let them nurse, let them live, let them thrive. Mama's there for a reason. She got full court press. We good, baby. Let's go back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah.
And I just feel that that's going to happen. I just feel it. I just know that the future is going to be this. I'm just not going to sleep, bruh. Like, I'm not going to sleep over puppies, man. Puppies. Woo.
At least the mom dog should take care of the puppies for the most part. You shouldn't have too much to worry about.
Exactly. Like, let the mama dog be the mama dog. You know what I'm saying? Let the mom hard. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But, you know, and I'm saying all this, and the puppies haven't even arrived yet. But at the same time, it has been like, have you checked the temperature? Temperature? Because apparently, when the temperature drops, right? When the temperature drops on the dog, then if it's a drastic, like, you know, if you keep taking their temperature and they have a fairly consistent temperature, but when they're ready to give birth, their temperature drops drastically. But you know what I'm saying? So we have to consistently check on her temperature. Constantly. So, a couple days ago, her temperature had dropped. Like, not even drastic. I mean, it was like a degree. 1 degree. And my girl is paranoid. So now it's
excited.
We need to check we need to check 3 times a day. We need to check every 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's lovely. It's lovely. You know what I mean? Life is awesome. Love is amazing, but life is amazing. Love is amazing too, but life is amazing. And I'm excited about bringing these puppies and welcoming these puppies into the world. But at the same time, damn, bro, come on.
Yogi's got a good idea. You can put a camera on them and monetize the puppies.
I just read that, and Yogi, that is seriously brilliant. That's not a bad idea, real talk. But at the same time, woo, like I said, it's already enough. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 dogs. I'm about to have like 9. You feel me? In about a week or so, I'm about to have 9 of these mugs. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. And everything's going to smell like poop. Can't wait. You're
going to fall in love with them and not be able to give them away.
No, see, here's the thing, though. I will most likely, and I'm saying this only to y'all, because, you know, as soon as I said, all right, let's let them do their thing. You know, she's in heat for the 15 millionth time, and I'm tired of hearing my other dog howling at the moon and acting like it's the most dramatic thing in the world, like we just chopped his arm off, like chopped his paw off or something. I said, fine, we're going to do this. But I turned to her and I said, we are not keeping not one of these dogs. You understand that, right? We're not keeping not one, right? She's like, okay, that's fine. Then she gets pregnant, and now I'm going, well, we might keep one. I mean, you know, we might keep one. We might. But that's 3 damn dogs. 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 dogs. That's too much for me, in my personal opinion. Real talk. Too many dogs. I got 2 already, and they're a handful. Do you understand how hard it is to get somebody to dog sit when I have to go out of town or when we have to go out of town? Do you know how hard it is to get somebody to dog sit 2 dogs? Let alone, like, think about it. 3? Bruh, that would be impossible. So I'm just kind of like, A part of me is like, well, if one looks really dope, you know what I mean? Or one, like, if I bond, you know what I mean? If I connect with one, like Juliet. Juliet is the one that I bonded with. You know, she's my dog. She is my dog. So just letting you know. If I bond with one, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But most likely we'll be giving them away for sure. Because I am not keeping 17 dogs. No freaking way. No, man, I'm good. Can you imagine the vet bill and then the food bit? Like, I'm good. And then everything smelling like poop. I'm good on it, man.
Bro, it'd be like a farm in the middle of St. Louis.
Right? And I don't live on a farm. You know what I mean? You don't hear the twang in my voice. You know what I mean? Talking about, I gotta go and, get some hay. We're gotta get some hay. And I don't sound like that. You don't hear the sounds like that coming out my mouth. I'm a city slicker. You will not see me on a farm. Hell to the no. But we'll see. Somebody asked me, what kind of puppies do I have? What kind of dogs? Races Fan Rocks. Thank you. Thank you for the question. So I got 2. I mean, they're not anything crazy. They're small little dogs. I mean, I lived in a very small place a long time ago, and when I got the first dog, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get a big ass manly dog in a tiny ass apartment. You know what I'm saying? Now I live in a different place, but I got the dog then. So one of them is a Morkie, or like a Maltese Yorkie. So he's really, really tiny. He's like 6 pounds, at least, at best. After a Thanksgiving dinner, he's like 6 pounds. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not talking about I eat the dog. Come on now. Then I have another one named Juliet, and she is a Doxy Poo. So she's a Dachshund Poodle mix, and she's a little bit bigger, all black, black on black on black, and she's pregnant as hell. She's prego. She is so pregnant, and yeah. So those are my dogs. So I got 2 of them, and I'm about to have like 17. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yellow Man's seen the dogs. Back in the day, I brought him up. And this is when, before she was deflowered, before she was ran through by Romeo. You know what I mean? She was young and innocent and still a little flower. She was not deflowered at that time. And yeah. Maybe I'll bring them up before the show's over, so you guys get to see these crazy dogs and all that. But yes, she is very, very, very pregnant. And she's about to give birth any moment, any day, I think. Sometime. I think it's going to be sometime this week. Sometime this week, she's going to be giving birth to these crazy puppies. So we'll see. So anyway, I'll stop talking about my damn dogs. But you got to understand, it's been quite a week. It's been quite a couple days. You know what I'm saying?
I think everyone likes to hear about dogs anyway.
No kidding. I see that. You know what I'm saying? People go, ooh, you got dogs? You know what I mean? Tell us about our dog. Tell us about your dogs. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, people love seeing kids. Like, people love seeing babies and dogs. I don't know why people like that stuff. It's fine. Not knocking anybody who likes seeing dogs and who likes seeing babies. Babies are beautiful. Dogs are cute as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not one, like, my girl will be driving down the street and she goes, oh, there's a puppy! Like, and it's off in the side of the street. Like, there's no, I'm like, what? Like, scared out of my mind, like something's happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a dead body on the street. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh, there's a puppy! Oh my God. What's going, you know what I'm saying? She does that a lot. You know what I mean? She gets all excited about dogs. I don't get it. I'm just like, oh, cool, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it's in person, and I can pet it, I'll probably get obsessed with it. Otherwise, I'll just move on with my day. But if I can touch it, then I'll probably sit there and just play with it forever.
Of course. See, that's you. And I mean, it's weird because I used to be totally scared of dogs back in the day. Because I'm black. And dogs don't like black people for some weird reason. And I know that's a generalization. Not all dogs hate, or dislike black people. I got 2 dogs and they love me to death. But at the same time, a lot of dogs feel some type of way about black people. So I was always scared of dogs ever since I was a little boy. And, but for some odd reason, as soon as I own a dog, suddenly all these dogs start effing with me. It's weird. Like suddenly I'm like the king of the canines. You know what I'm saying? They all just want to come up and they roll up and it's like, what the hell? You're the most intimidating looking dog. And suddenly now you F with me. When back in the day, if I didn't have these dogs, they don't want anything to do. They want to rip my face off. It's really, really weird. I don't know. Or, maybe, the alpha is finally like seeping out of my pores. You know what I'm saying? And they smell that in the air. And they're like, oh, no. I'm not messing with this man. That's a true alpha right there. You know what I'm saying? He's a wolf. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot off those pheromones to keep the dogs in place.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess with me, man. Put your hand out. It comes back a nub. I'm telling you. I'm stupid. Anyway, and Yogi Fish, yes. My girl will show up. No, I'm telling you, man. Oh, bruh. Okay, my girl is the type who will go into Target or like Walmart, and she's in there to go and get like, say it's just something random. Say it's like a gallon of milk. I know. Why go into Target for a gallon of milk? Just run with me with this story. She'll go in to Target, and as soon as she sees an aisle that has something for dogs, forget the milk. Forget it. She goes straight over there and she's like, oh, look at these. Oh, they're so cute. I don't get it, bro. And I'm like, babe, we were here for milk. Every time. Every single freaking time. Or it's like, oh, look at this sweater. And it's like, babe, you already bought the same type of thing. It's just in blue. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same. It's the same thing. Like, the dogs aren't going to like this. You're torturing the dogs with these sweaters. They already got a permanent sweater on their asses. It's called fur. Do you see what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah.
Man. So every time. Sorry, David. I digress. I'm done talking.
Hey, that little black dog has a good coat, too. It doesn't need a sweater. My dog would hate a sweater. I'm pretty sure he'd freak out.
Yeah. So that there it is. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like I'm in trouble now. Oh boy. I have a feeling my girlfriend's listening right now. But anyway, so here it is. I'm sweating now. No, I'm totally kidding. So the thing is dogs, great. They're awesome, all that stuff. But at the same time, sometimes it's like she gets super hype about dogs or dog things. And I'm like, babe, just focus. Let's go and get the milk. Let's just get the milk. Weren't we here for milk? Remember? You know what I'm saying? Remember the milk? So that's her, God bless her. But yeah.
The dog would probably like milk more than a sweater, to be honest.
Facts. See what I'm saying? They're sitting there going, why did you put this on me? You know what I'm saying? That's what they always look like. They always have that look like, why? Why are you putting this on me again? ¿Por qué? That's literally what it is. And it's like, do they really enjoy this? Are they really going to enjoy this? No, they're not. But I digress. Moving on from dogs. We do have some top stories to talk about. Obviously, we did talk about Elliot Page or Ellen Page. Recently came out And I mean, I just did a pop-up video about this. I didn't get a chance to talk about it with David. So I'm going to, we're going to pop it up. We're going to throw it up here and have a conversation about this. Ellen Page, actress Ellen Page, known for Juno to Hard Candy to the new, that popular Netflix show, The Umbrella Academy, has just come out, as transgender. Now she wants to be referred to as he and they. And instead of Ellen Page, she has now donned the name of Elliot Page. And we talked about this on the show, or in this pop-up video, or I talked about it on this pop-up video. And I got to be honest, like, I'm very excited for her. I'm happy for her. Not excited. I mean, I guess I am excited, but like, I'm happy for her. Real talk, I'm happy for her. I think that it's a good thing that she's finally just coming out and being comfortable in her own skin. And I don't see any problem with it. It ain't hurting nobody. It doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't bother anybody else. I think that is fine. If she wants to be referred to as a he, and she wants to be called Elliot instead of Ellen, that's her prerogative, baby. And that's what I think. David, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, as far as her own identity, it's her business, and she should be, whoever she wants. I mean, that's the main part of it, I guess, is like, she can be whoever she wants, and it's not too much other people's business. But it did remind me of a story of when she was on X-Men, she played Kitty Pryde, and I know why she was on there. Brett, I think it's Ratner, the director.
Yeah.
He was just
wait, you mean Bryan Singer?
Or is it?
Which ones? The one with the one
X-Men: The Last Stand. Yeah, it's Brett Ratner.
Okay, Brett Ratner. Sorry. Okay.
So, so I can't even read it, but he said you should F her to make her realize she's gay, and then later on called her like she just wants to be a boy and stuff, and like was harassing her really badly about that. This was before she even came out as being gay. So I don't know, it reminded me of that story and how she was already getting harassed for that back then. Beyond that, I don't know too much about her because I like X-Men. That's why I knew about the incident there, which is obviously a very bad thing. And so it seems like, I guess, she's starting to figure out who she is without the plan that Brett Ratner had in place.
Yeah, I think she's always had. I think she's always thought of herself as a boy. I think she's always identified herself as Elliot. I think it just took a long time for her to actually have the balls to come out and say it. Now the thing is Yogi Fish just asked a very good question. He asked a very good question, and the question is, why does she need to make a public announcement? Okay, I think I got the answer for you, Yogi. She is somebody who's out in the limelight. She is somebody out and who has a platform in which it could embolden the trans community. I think she was in a place right now, and I can't speak for her because I'm not in her shoes. I am not her. But I automatically think this. If she is seeing people, trans people, getting ostracized and beaten and ridiculed, murdered, some going into deep depression, some committing suicide. If she's seeing all those things and she feels in her heart of heart that she is part of that group, and she has a platform in which she can use to empower that group, that's the reason why she made that announcement. Why she made the announcement so public. Because I think she wanted her people, she wanted her group to understand that they are not alone. And that one of the hardest things is to come out. One of the hardest things is to say that you are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, what have you, queer, what have you. It is really hard. And especially nowadays, the transgender community has been out in the forefront quite a bit lately. You know, there has been so much ridicule and discrimination against the trans community. And that's something that we've even talked about on this show. Not only is it coinciding with the Black Lives Matter movement, it's also right next to the transgender community is being brought up, talking about their transgender rights. So I feel like she felt like she had to come out, not only just for herself, for her own sanity, but also to tell and make herself as an example that it's okay to come out and it's okay to be transgender. So I commend her for it. I really do commend her for it. It's a scary, scary thing to do, especially this is not her, and I hate to say it like this, but it's not her sitting here saying that, oh, I'm a lesbian. You know, back in the day, think about it, and I even said this in the pop-up video, when Ellen DeGeneres came out as gay, that was a huge deal. That was earth-shattering. That was groundbreaking. She was terrified for her life. She lost deals. She lost jobs. She lost her show because she came out as gay. Now transgender is the new, I guess it's the new, coming out as transgender, I guess is the new coming out as gay. So the fact that she said that, the fact that she stepped up and did what she did is tremendous. Because there's so many kids out there, so many people out there that are feeling lost, feeling like they don't have somebody that can speak on behalf of them, thinking that they don't have a voice. And this woman comes out, or this person, I'm sorry, comes out and says that they are transgender, turns the volume up on the voice a little bit, don't you think? So I commend Elliot for stepping out, because that is a very scary thing to do. It's a very scary thing, because she is risking her life. She's risking her job, reputation, her career. I mean, everything on coming out. That takes a lot of guts. It takes a whole lot of guts, I think. That's what I personally think. What do you think, David?
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely facing negative like responses from people. That's beyond doubt. I think, you know, it's like she is going to get people, just like random people that harass her. I do think she's likely to find in Hollywood a good amount of support.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more, at least amongst actors and the like, maybe not directors apparently, but so like, yeah, it's definitely, like you said, it's a, like, what was her name? Ellen, just Ellen. Yeah. Like when Ellen came out as being gay, like you said, that was a big deal. And that led to a lot of people coming out and declaring themselves gay. And a lot of those people, you kind of could tell beforehand. So obviously they were just keeping themselves hidden. And if that's the way you are, just come out with it, and people should treat you the same as everyone else. They won't, but, you know, they should.
Yeah.
And as for Yogi Fish, I was confused by that as well. I did some looking into it. It seems like transsexual is just considered an outdated term, and transgender is more fluid than transsexual was, in that you can just identify as transgender, but a lot of transgender people do take a
offense.
Yeah. And so yeah.
You know, and I appreciate Yogi Fish for asking that question, because it is kind of it's not a new thing. You know, transgender has been around. You know what I'm saying? This is not like this is a brand new thing. I think it's becoming more socially acceptable in the zeitgeist of the world, you know, in the zeitgeist of everything. You know, we start to see more and more transgender characters and stuff like that are slowly being implemented or slowly being introduced into TV shows and in movies and stuff like that as well. But it is part of life. It is part of our world. It is a real thing. And I think that it's something that, like I said, someone like her to come out as he, with the platform that she has, I think is huge, because there are other people that have already been transgender and they're out as transgender, like somebody just said a second ago, which I appreciate. Zozo Bob just mentioned Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox is a transgender actor or actress that was on a very big TV show called Orange is the New Black on Netflix. Really good show, pretty good show. And she is an actress and she is transgender. But she never had to come out as such to the public, to the world. She was already introduced as Laverne Cox. Do you see what I'm saying? It wasn't like one day she came out to the world as transgender. She was already introduced to the world, to the general public, as transgender. We have been watching Elliot Page, for a very long time, since Juno. And it was one of those things where people were very excited about the then named Ellen Page. They were excited about then actress, saying, oh, she's going to be this really great actress and so on and so forth. And at that time, Elliot did a lot of really great movies and really great roles. But she never introduced herself. She came out as gay, but she never came out as transgender. So now that she's done this it's a big move. It's very gutsy. And hopefully this sends a message to other people who are transgender that feel alone, that feel scared to come out or scared that they just don't have anybody out there that is feeling the way they feel. So I think it's huge. I think I commend Elliot for doing what they did. I think it's a big deal. And I think it's literally like Ellen DeGeneres, in the 90s coming out as gay. So hopefully this turns into something positive, and this doesn't turn into something negative, So there you have it.
Also, it's kind of related that
shoot, Laverne
Schumer.
Oh.
No, it's Schumer was today said that he would support Joe Biden's plan, which is tentatively to make an executive order in the first day to allow transgender people into the public bathroom and facilities that they identify as. And I think that includes sports. I'd have to double check on that because that was the one thing that was being debated a little bit about it was the sports aspect. But in general, so Biden plans on the first day to put in through the executive order to allow transgender to go to the bathroom and other gender-based things based on who they identify as.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. And that's good news too. I know that Zozo Bob said something about Laverne Cox being assaulted in a park, and that is true. She and a friend were targeted in a transphobic attack, and it looks like the actress and transgender activist she said she and a friend were targeted in a transphobic attack in a Los Angeles park over the weekend. She said that she was walking with her friend in Griffith Park on Saturday when a man approached them and aggressively asked for the time. The friend that I'm with looks at his watch and tells him the time, and then the guy asks for the time. So my friend, to my friend, and he says to my friend, guy or girl. Cox says, said, "My friend says F off." Then all of a sudden, Cox said that the man began to physically attack her friend. Cox had to call 911, but the man had already fled the scene. So she put her phone away. Then the guy really wanted me to answer so that he could spook whether I'm trans or not. I don't know why. I don't know why it matters. At the end of the day, it's like, who cares? I'm in a hoodie and yoga pants. I'm completely covered up. I've got my mask on. Who cares if I'm trans? How does it affect your life? And of course, as you already know, she is one of the actresses from Orange is the New Black. She's been in a bunch of other shows as well. And yeah, so I mean, this guy came in, tried to attack her just because he figured or assumed that she was transgender, and tried to target her and tried to attack both she and her friend. I mean, those things are real. I mean, obviously those things are going to happen. It's unfortunate that those things happen a lot more often than we actually hear about. But at the same time, it sounds like Laverne is fine. It sounds like she's okay. So, thank God it didn't turn into something violent, and she wasn't hurt, or her friend wasn't hurt either. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it seems like it's become a hotspot lately. In that, I mean, obviously, it's always been a thing that's been considered strange and ostracized if it's a transgender person, even though that name's fairly modern. I mean, people who identify as the opposite gender have been around for thousands of years. I mean, there's you have Roman emperors. The village fool in medieval England was usually a man that just pretended to be a woman, and everyone accepted it. That's why he was called the village fool. I mean, it wasn't always the case, but it was really common. And so these things have been going on through history, and it's not necessarily until recently that we gave it a title. Like, in the past, it was just accepted as I mean, it wasn't always accepted, but yeah, it was in the places it was accepted, it was considered a kind of like special quirk of that person's character. It wasn't considered I don't know, like unique sexual preference type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was just them being unique in their own way. And like in some cases, it was even preferable for those gender identities to switch. You see it in the Lakota shamans in America, and like I said, in Rome and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
These are foundations of our society where people were identifying as different genders. It just didn't stand out as much. And in a lot of cases, it was considered okay when a woman pretended to be a guy in particular, because that would allow her to fill, if she was like a noble or something, that would allow her to fill a position of authority that she otherwise wouldn't be able to fill. And that's been a case in the past. So, yeah, it's existed always, and I'm sure that it wasn't always accepted everywhere, because there are cases of, I'm sure there's cases of the people that do that being murdered in the past. There's a lot of different cultures even then. It's just that recently it's been given, part of it is that it's been given a label, and part of it is that it's become associated with a political stance at this point. And so there seems to be a lot more hate, I guess, being targeted at a super minority group that, in terms of mathematical numbers, barely exist as a percentage of the population, that are getting so much attention and hatred because I feel like basically they've been associated with the Democratic Party, and so that just creates a divide where people automatically target them because of implied political beliefs. Even though there are I can't remember her name. There's this lady named something White. She's a major conservative transgender woman, and that's accepted fine. I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's a lot more too. It seems like there's a lot more violence when it's a man that identifies as a woman in particular for some reason, that seems, especially of late, to have increased in violence considerably. But yeah.
It's a very I guess, when it comes to just all of it's a very sticky situation. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people like Joe Rogan get thrown under the bus for just talking about transgender topics and such. I feel like it is easily turned into something that, I could sit here and say one thing. I'm not saying I'm about to say one thing, but I'm saying I could sit here and say one thing and it could be misinterpreted as me trying to be transphobic. And I think that's a very frustrating thing where it's like, you want to talk about these things. You want to have these conversations about these things that are going on. And I just think it's, I don't know. I just think it's interesting that we could sit here all day and talk about gay or straight, lesbian or bisexual, right? But as soon as you start talking about transgender, I don't know. People get all like hyped up about it. People get really frustrated and angry about it. And to me, it just doesn't make any sense. I feel like, hey, man, it's your life. If you want to identify yourself as such, then identify yourself as such. I don't care. I mean, not sitting here saying that you know what I mean. Not sitting here saying that I don't care, but you see what I'm saying. It's not my life. So I'm not going to tell you how to run your life. If it's not harming anybody, if you're not sitting here saying I'm going to be the next Hitler for crying out loud, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to, create a mass genocide or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not hurting anybody. And if that makes you live your best life, then live your best life, baby. Come on now. If that makes you happy, if that's what makes
them as an individual, but that's not the case. You're the one usually pushing yourselves in their lives. I mean, you can have your sexual preferences. You don't have to be with a transgender person or anything like that. But generally, you should let people do their own thing and not harass or interfere with other people's freedoms, regardless of what they're, as long as they're not hurting someone else. And, I guess some people would argue that she's harming herself through this, but that's her own business if she is. And because that is a conservative, I don't want to say conservative, but it's mostly conservative viewpoint that it's self-harmful. There's a psychological basis too in the history of like gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
Where that probably originates from.
True.
And, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
It's just the thing is like people point to those as if those mental diagnoses as if they're a permanent thing, but that's not really how psychology works. Like accepted psychology changes constantly because of it's based on how the general population at that time acts. So proper psychology isn't necessarily what everyone else does. If you're able to knowingly and willingly make the choice on your own. And in that point, if you're knowingly and willingly making the choice on your own and you understand the outcomes and the indications, then there is that should just be something that's generally supported. I do have to say this. I do see an issue with some people, I guess, pushing their children as transgender simply because I'm not sure that someone before puberty can even understand gender.
Okay, yeah, now we stepping into a D Wade world, and talking about his daughter and all that, and that's a whole other can of worms in itself. And I'm not. I don't know if I'm well equipped to jump into that conversation right now. But I do. No. I'm equipped to talk about it. F it. I'm equipped to talk about it. Here it is. I agree with what you're saying. I think that there are kids that are still growing up. Kids are still trying to figure themselves. Kids that are still trying to figure themselves out. You know what I'm saying? as far as I'm concerned, when we were kids, at least when I was a kid, you know, one day, I know this is very, very drastic, okay? It is probably not the best example in the world, but let's just roll with it, okay? Just roll with me on this, okay? One day, I wanted to be the greatest martial artist that ever lived. The next day, I wanted to be a doctor. The next day, I wanted to be an incredible filmmaker. The next day, I wanted to be a writer. And I know that those are just occupations. I know that has nothing to do with self-identity. But at the same time, what I'm trying to point out is children are very fickle. Children are extremely fickle. One day they love peanut butter, the next day they hate it. You know what I'm saying? One day they love this video game, the next day they hate it. I know that's very general, like I'm generalizing like a mug right now. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about any child that wants to identify themselves as, you know, a girl wanting to identify themselves as a boy, you know, or anything of that. I'm not saying that at all. But I keep thinking in my mind, what if that child wants to change? What if that child changes their mind when they hit puberty? What happens if they change their mind in the middle of it and realize, oh, I realize I'm not transgender. And I've already been doing all the stuff, like all the reassignment, taking the medications and all that stuff, you know? My parents have already invested so much money into helping me transition, and it's kind of like, oh man, I'm between a rock and a hard place now, because there's that pressure of like, oh, I just took all these. My parents have invested all this stuff so that I can transition, but now I realize that I'm not that. You know what I mean?
And yeah, there have been cases of kids that underwent surgery or hormone treatment, and then once they became an adult, realized that the transgender therapy wasn't something they actually wanted and had reversed hormones or surgery, though you can't always get everything back. I don't know the details. Some people were able to get everything back. I guess it depends on the kind of surgery you have.
Yeah.
And when you have it, but not everybody is, so.
Yeah, I say this too, because I know that there are people like once I did that video about Elliot Page, there were people on there that were saying, thank you so much for bringing up this topic. My daughter is transgender, or I have a transgender child. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for talking about this topic. And I'm not sitting here saying that your children should not identify themselves as such. Not at all. But there is a part of me that goes, well, maybe they can wait until they hit a certain age. It's kind of like, I don't even know if this is real anymore, but when I was a kid, I mean, my parents are old school. You know, my parents are from Haiti. You know, we old school like a mug. But when we were kids, we couldn't go on a date. We couldn't even date anyone until we were 16 years old. And that's facts. We could not do that. I mean, you know, and that's very old school. That's very, very traditional and very conservative in that world, right? Why couldn't it be the same? Like, okay, honey, okay, I understand that you identify as such. I get it. I'm with you. I'm not against it at all. But why don't we make those decisions when you get to a certain age? Live your life. Enjoy being a kid for right now. I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying, like, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't want kids. I don't know. Surgeries and all that are so traumatizing to a child. So traumatizing. I'm not sitting here saying that a child should not identify themselves as transgender. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's fine. But I feel like there should be a conversation between the kid and the parents so that they can make the proper decision to move on. But but you start doing all this reassignment, oh my dear God, like at like say 12, 13 years old, I just feel like it's so, that is so traumatizing to a young kid's body. Just let alone just not even mentally, physically. You see what I'm saying? It's such a big thing.
I mean, at that point, they haven't even put a name to the impulses they feel or the like desires they have. They're just starting to feel them, and they probably don't even realize how their emotions are changing, let alone pointing to them as a form of their own identity. In addition to that, saying that that is not part of their identity and that they need to change to something else. They need to like learn what identities are and who they are before they can even start trying to confine it to a label kind of thing.
Precisely. Like, I'll say this too, and this might be a little extreme that what I'm about to say, but I know people out here that came out as lesbian, ended up being bisexual. Does that make sense? At first, it's like, oh, I like women. I'm a girl and I like women. And then all of a sudden it turned into, actually, no, I'm not a lesbian. I'm bisexual. You see what I'm saying? People change. People can change, or their sexual preferences can change, as life goes on. So I feel like right off the top, a child, they have all their life to figure things out, their whole life to figure things out. It's like that thing where kids will sit there and go, like a kid will sit there and go, I have temper tantrums. I know this is an exaggerated story, but for example, a kid will sit there and have a temper tantrum about wanting to have long hair, right? Or not with long hair, sorry. Wanting to cut their hair really, really short. They want to get it down to a bob, like a little girl, She has long, blonde, beautiful hair or something like that, or long, beautiful hair, right? And she's just sitting there going, I want to cut it off, blah, blah, blah. So after many temper tantrums, the mom caves and says, fine, let's chop it all off. You wanted to chop it off? Let's do it. Then they cut it all off, and then all of a sudden the kid freaks the hell out because the idea that they had in their heads of what they would look like with a short haircut is not at all what it looks like. And then they freak out, right? Then suddenly they want their hair long again because that's what kids do. That's just being a child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I want a pink bike. And then you get them the pink bike, and then suddenly they see somebody else with a purple bike. And they're like, damn, I want that purple. You know what I'm saying? It's just kids. What were you going to say, David?
I mean, they don't have enough experience with things to know what they don't like yet. So they naturally, they see someone having fun with something or anything like that. I mean, basically it just comes down to the lack of experience, right? So
right.
Older people have gone through experiences, and experiences are what create your identity. It's not just who you want to, have sex with or who you identify as. It's much more complex than that.
Yeah.
And, like a transgender person isn't just their gender they identify as. They're more than that. And I don't know where it's going with that really, but.
No, I mean, but I see. No, you were making a good point. You were going down the right road. You were going down the right road. And like I said, it's such a hard conversation because I mean, I am not a father of a child that wants to identify as such, so I can't really speak from that place because I don't have a child. Period. I don't have a child, but. I know that I would want my child to be happy. More than anything in the world, that's what I want them to be, is happy. Whether that is doing that or not, I mean, it really does end up going on what the parents want to do. And if that's what the parents want to do, then, I mean, I can't really sit there and pass any judgment on that. That's a world that you want to have. That's what you want to do. Then that's what you want to do. You know, I get scared about a child doing stuff drastic and suddenly going, oh, dang, I made a big mistake. You know, that's just what I personally think, you know. Sorry. Yogi Fish had something. I had a question, or he had a question I thought was really good, unless it disappeared. Where did it go?
The virgin's question.
Yes. Where did it go? I lost it because I had it and then I was going to talk about it, but then we started talking.
Yeah, he says, Yogi Fish asked, can virgins be sexually definable, really? He was talking about that in reflection to bisexualism.
Yes.
Presumably, yeah.
You know, that's a very good question. That's a very good question, Yogi. Like how can you know if you ain't done it, right? How can you identify as such if you've never been? You know what I'm saying? If you haven't done anything, I mean, there's also the feeling. There is the feeling. I mean, obviously, what you're innately attracted to, you're going to feel it, right? If you see somebody that is attractive, that you find it sexually attractive, you're going to feel it. It doesn't mean that you have to go through the motions of the hokey pokey. You know what I'm saying? The sideways samba, the horizontal polka. Like, you don't have to go through those things to know if you're going to like it. It's a thing that you feel. You feel it in your loins, Yogi. You feel it in the fruits, the nether regions, the twig and berries. Deep down in that ovarian region. You feel it there. Initially. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, even if you still had your V card, you'd know. You'd know. I mean, to a certain extent, I feel.
I mean, I did. I don't know about other people.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know what you, to a certain extent, you know what you like. You got whatever's programmed in your mind as what you find sexy or what you find attractive. That is just innately in your body. You know what I'm saying? And what you've been consuming around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever's been around you that you consume as something that is arousing, you know, whatever's been thrown at you on TV, so on and so forth. I mean, you know. Then, you know, as you start to do it, right, you start to, your appetites start to, what's the word? Experiment. Or they start to expand, right? Because it's not automatically, like, you know, there's people out there that like crazy stuff like S&M. How is somebody who's a virgin going to know that they like getting slapped in the face? Real talk. How are they going to know? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know until you actually do that. But you're going to know innately if you like women. If you find women sexually attractive. Or men. You're going to know. You know? You don't have to dive in. You know what I mean? To know that. I think that's just something that you feel in your bones. It's already ingrained in your DNA, whatever it is. Now, peeing on people is a totally other conversation. I don't know how people know that. I don't know how somebody goes, wow, I really need to urinate on somebody because that really makes me feel like exclamation point. I don't get it. I don't get it. R. Kelly, he and I need to sit down and have a conversation. We need to have a talk. Real talk.
Sounds like a domination thing to me, maybe. I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's a whole other Charles Dickens story. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. Let's jump over to this next conversation because we just dove all the way into that conversation. And but I appreciate everybody being a part of the convo. You know what I'm saying? This is the night show. You know what I mean? So we can talk about this ish. You know what I'm saying? Yogi Fish said, "Damn, Pascal, talk about a hard left turn. Peeing on you, sex. Peeing on you, sex. Yeah. Water sports, golden showers. Look it up. It is a real thing. Apparently, R. Kelly is a connoisseur in this. But anyway, and I don't want to get in trouble with R. Kelly. You know what I mean? He already has a mess of troubles already. R. Kelly has entered the chat. Yeah, it is nasty, Jalen. It's super nasty. Anyway, we got to talk about this thing because we were going to talk about it, but we dove right into this transgender conversation. But I think it was an important piece, most definitely. But okay, left. This is a hard left turn. Attorney General William Barr has said something about he has just broke. This is breaking news as a couple hours ago. He has just recently said something about the voting or about the elections not being fraudulent enough. David, what's a guan?
All right, so
I'm going to pull up this article too.
All right. Yeah, as you guys know, William Barr is the Attorney General for Donald Trump, and generally he's been supporting Donald Trump with everything he's pushed for the most part. But today he was talking to the attorney press as well as a few other news agencies, and he told them that U.S. attorneys and FBI agents have been working to follow up specific complaints and information they received, but, and this is his words, to date, we have not seen fraud on a scale that would have affected a different outcome in the election. And so some articles have been misreporting this as saying that he says there's no fraud. He doesn't actually say whether there's any fraud or not. He just says that there is not enough fraud for it to matter either way. So
yeah, where's the actual quote? Because I want them to see it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's did you have the AP article?
Yeah, it's up.
Paragraph. They have a quote from him
on the third paragraph. You said?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Here it is. It's a day where we have not seen fraud on the scale that could be affected. That could have affected a different outcome in the election. Okay, cool. Sorry, continue. Thank you.
Right. So, and the current numbers, because a lot more votes came in after they were called just because of mail-in or postage dates, though they weren't significant. So the numbers have changed a little bit, but Biden is still 4 or 5 million ahead on the popular vote, and none like Georgia and none of the places that Trump would have needed to flip came even close after audits. Mm-hmm. So. On top of that, Barr goes on to say that there have been substantial allegations of voting irregularities before the 2020 presidential election was certified, but there was no evidence of widespread fraud.
Now, you're saying that there were substantial allegations of voting irregularities before the 2020 presidential election, so like 2016.
No,
or are you saying
before the certification of the 2020 presidential election? So after the votes were cast, but before, basically when the states decided to certify the votes, which for most of the key states has been within the past week or two, I believe. I don't remember the exact dates for all of them, but so fairly recently was the certification, and so during that time there has been no widespread fraud, and mostly what he was talking about. In terms of voting irregularities was problems with military votes and deadlines and people kind of shifting that around. That mostly got resolved from what I can tell. But that is included in his assessment that there's nothing to change the outcome of the election. Gotcha. So even those that minor amount of votes, because there was, I think, something like 60 or 70,000 military votes this year, but they weren't for one candidate, and they weren't for one state. They're split across all 50 for the most part. Mm-hmm. And so that's why they didn't have a huge effect this time, though they could have which was why that was brought up earlier. And he investigated it, and that's what he pointed to as irregularities, and that's the main thing he's mentioned as anything unusual. He didn't like bring up the Dominion system or anything, which after 2 minor errors had audits in 2 states and didn't seem to have any problems generally. And but he goes on saying,
It said fascinating. Sorry.
Yeah. So Giuliani, on the other hand, who, despite not being Trump's attorney general, has been his main attorney anyway lately.
Right.
Largely because Giuliani will say that I'll just quote Giuliani. He says that there's ample evidence of illegal voting in at least 6 states, which they have not examined. And Giuliani goes on to say, we have many witnesses swearing under oath they saw crimes being committed in connection with voter fraud. As far as we know, not a single one has been interviewed by the DOJ. The Justice Department also hasn't audited any voting machines, which isn't true. Well, I guess the Justice Department didn't do it. It was the Secretary of the State. But it has been, they've at least been investigated, just not by the DOJ. And so, he kind of contradicts Barr there, but Barr is the actual attorney general, and he's not just Trump's attorney. So Giuliani has to work for Trump, and William Barr does not.
But William Barr is like chummy with him, with Trump. I mean, he's Team Trump all day long, which is why this whole situation is a very interesting turn of events. This is why this is breaking news. This is why people are tripping so damn hard, because it's like you got Giuliani sitting there going, oh, we have testimonies and we have people who have sworn under oath, so on and so forth, such and such and such and such, swearing up and down that there was, that there were fraudulent things going on, that there was voter fraud, that there was cheating involved, blah, blah, blah. And now we have William Barr going, no, even if there was like a tiny bit, just a little bit, doesn't matter anything. Doesn't matter. Because even if it was a couple 100,000, that still does not change the end result. That still doesn't change the inevitable, which is President-elect Biden is actually president-elect for 2020. And that's what they're just not willing to let go of. And we talked about this before. So I'm really glad that somebody else that is in his camp too, Team Trump, all day long. Like I said, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to gloat. I ain't trying to say anything bad at all whatsoever. But this thing has come up, and we've talked about this, and it doesn't matter how many times that there is, say, fraudulent stuff. Say that there is fraudulent stuff that goes on. Let's just say, will not equate to the amount that would be a landslide for Trump to win. It would be almost impossible. If they're looking at all, they've gone through the votes over and over and over again. Even so, Trump has spent millions of dollars to have things recounted. Millions of dollars, by the way, millions. Only to have 13,000 votes still go to Biden. Gave Biden a 13,000 vote lead in one of these recounts. I don't remember which state, but that's just so wild to me. So you got somebody who's on Team Trump now, William Barr, sitting here saying, does not matter how many fraudulent votes there are in here. If there are, it still wouldn't even make a dent. He still would not be able to catch up to Biden. That says a lot. That's a lot. And see, it's nice to hear somebody who is on Trump's team, that is his buddy, turn around and say, hey guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we've done the investigation. There's nothing here. That says a lot, y'all. Now imagine if Giuliani did the same thing. If Giuliani said the same thing, then this whole thing would be a wrap, son. We wouldn't have had to watch that press briefing that he had where he was melting, you know what I mean? Where he had the hair dye melt, just streaming down his face. We wouldn't have to deal with all that stuff. But you got William Barr. You got William Barr coming out and saying otherwise. Damn. Right?
Yeah.
It's all she wrote, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's a crazy one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jalen was talking about some of the fraud cases that have happened, and there have been fraud cases. Let's see, but most of them have been pretty insignificant from what I've seen.
Yeah.
There was California that had 10 counts of voter fraud between 2 people.
10.
Yeah, and then, what was it? There were 2 in California. There was
2.
one case where a few thousand in California, but it was for a state election. It was not for the presidential election.
Okay.
And then there was, I think the one in Texas was 230. Let me see if I can find the exact number really quick. Yeah, it looks like 230 is roughly right. State filed 134 felony charges against 4 defendants engaged in election fraud. Let's see. But yeah, it looks like that number's about right. 230 ballots in Texas. So we're still total talking about, as far as the presidential fraud elections go, what we found has been less than, I think, 1,000 total, maybe 2,000. But none of it's been concentrated in a state enough to make a significant difference at all. Not even if you combine them all in one of the swing states that were really close.
Yeah.
And, Giuliani and Trump keep saying they have other video evidence and that they have some new witnesses from a few places like the USPS, but like the last witness they had, he kept going back and forth on whether or not the fraud was even real or if he just heard and over-interpreted something. And so there are cases of fraud that need to continue to be looked into, but what William Barr said is mostly correct in that just based on the charges we've seen and the accusations with the evidence that we've seen, what fraud has occurred has not been close enough to make a major difference in the national election.
I'll say this too again. If there was fraudulent voting going on, it was minimal. It happens, I'm sorry, but this happens every year or every 4 years. There is always somebody going back in and re-voting for a second time. There have been people who have gone on tape and gone on video admitting these things, saying that they've been caught doing voter fraud and have been, gotten slapped on the wrists or misdemeanors or whatever, had to pay multiple fines, etc., on probation for years. There are those things. You know what I mean? There are those things that are out there. It happens every 4 years. So this isn't something that's just brand spanking new news, about this voter fraud. Yeah, it exists. It happens. There are people who actually go to a different place and try to vote a second time. Real talk. There are people who do that. Now, like I said, if this is something that is if this turns into something that is just much bigger, then I can't wait to see the proof. But it would have to be millions of people doing this multiple times for there to be an inkling of a dent when it comes to the popular vote. What are we going to say, Devin?
First, Jalen says that she would like to be sure more about the election, and I agree that Trump should continue to fight legally if he actually has anything to fight with, and that if he does have, he's been saying he has video evidence and all this of voter fraud, and that he has witnesses, which very well may be true. But the thing is, I want those witnesses to go before a court, and I want the investigations to go before a court, because you're right, you can't always trust the news, but the courts are going to have the evidence, and you're going to be able to look at their documents and see what's going on without looking at the news. And that's why I want those people that supposedly have this evidence of fraud to come forth. And I think it's kind of late at this point. They really should have done this before, because in 3 days, the initial general certification has to go through, and then it's on the 14th or something like that. I don't remember the exact dates right now, but so basically there's only 2 to 3 weeks left before the very, very final certification. And any legal battles that are this major should have been brought up sooner. And, right, so I just want to see these court cases. Sidney Powell has said that she's going to be bringing them forward. And if we see any of these trials, which we very well might, I'm definitely interested to see the outcomes. But
me too.
Yeah, I mean, we need to see that evidence, and it needs to be made publicly available and be able to be reviewed by peers and professionals and the general populace. And we don't have that right now, so it's really hard to say that news of the fraud is any different from the other news that is incorrect about other things.
True.
And yeah,
I want to go ahead.
Yeah, so I do agree that there could be. I do think there is some irregularities that we haven't found yet, and probably some small fraud we haven't found yet.
Yeah.
But I think Attorney Barr's assessment is probably right, considering how many different groups have been looking at the votes within each state, and how many of those and how many of the audits have been done by competing people that support Trump versus people that are against him. There's always been parties supporting Trump investigating them as well, and so far, generally, they've come up with pretty much not what Trump wants. And you start seeing already, like, some conservative sources are saying, like, William Barr was part of the deep state conspiracy the whole time, and that he was never on Trump's side. So, like, it doesn't really matter whose side they're on. It really just matters what evidence they actually have and what they get put before court so that everyone can verify in. And yeah, so she's right that not every attorney is going to show all the evidence, and that other attorneys will fight to keep the evidence out. But usually those attorneys will still push forward the evidence, and it'll be reported on in most cases, especially something as major as this, which will be, any of these trials would be public trials as far as I know. And so there's no reason that they couldn't make their argument even if their evidence isn't submitted. It might get thrown out by the judge, but then everyone still hears it, and that's usually what an attorney does. Even if the judge says that the jury has to disregard what the attorney says, they don't, because they've already heard it. They can't disregard it.
You know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm chomping at the bits. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it goes with that. That will allow it to bring forward, and they'll bring their witnesses forward, even if like a witness testimony is their testimony, regardless of whether there's any evidence supporting it. And the testimony might be considered weak, but they still have the testimony put forth, and then other people can look at the testimony and consider it. But and those are generally what I want to see. I just want to be able to see this evidence on my own, and they're not putting it out there for me to see. They're not making it publicly available to see this full-scale fraud, and they just need to do that in some way that is verifiable by the individual, or that is consistent with other evidence that is independently gathered.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to be. I think they're going to try to do. I think that they're going to be trying to do the impossible. I think. I really do think that they're trying to accomplish the impossible. It's It's going to be very hard for them to fully prove that voting fraud has really happened 110%. I think it's very hard for them to do it unless people go out and re-vote again, which is not going to happen. So that's the one thing that is going to be really interesting. Yes, they can bring this stuff into court all day, but then at the same time, you can't tell me that some of these people aren't paid to talk this ish. You can't tell me that they're not putting in people to make it to what's the word? Stir the pot. Let's just use a phrase, stir the pot, so that it looks like he has an argument, that it makes it more plausible that fraudulent voting was actually happening. Who's to say that that's actually, like, you got to throw those pieces in there too. As much as we are sitting here going, oh, and I agree. Like, mainstream media is covering all this ish and doing this, that, and the third, and how much of it is really true and how much of it's really not. And I understand that part too. But at the same time, you can't sit here and say that 110% what Rudy Giuliani is saying or 110% what Sidney Powell is saying is true. And here it is. I want them to be right. I want them to be right. I want to see the proof. I want to see that. Because then that says something that says a lot about how our elections are run. That says a lot about what happened in 2000. That says a lot on what happened to any election. Let's just be real. On any election. Do you realize if they do this and it becomes, there's proof of fraudulent voting, you don't think that we're all going to sit here and go, well, then what happened in 2016? What happened 4 years before that? What happened 4 years before that? What happened this time and that time? Were those all fraudulent votes as well? Was there somebody out there trying to have Obama, let's just say, for example, Obama elected? Did everybody not vote for Obama? Was there voter fraud then too? You see what I'm saying? Oh, was Al Gore really supposed to be president? Now you're shaking the system. Now you're shaking the very foundation that this country stands upon. The rights that we feel like we do have. So then it starts going it gets deeper. If they are successful at proving that there is true 110% without a shadow of a doubt fraudulent voting going on, that's going to shake the very foundation of this country. I'm telling you that everyone's going to start wondering and want to be investigating on every single vote, on every single election. This will not end. Trust and believe, this will not be the end. You know for a fact that we're all going to be asking them questions. Bruh, we're going to be like, bruh, you're telling me, like, say that Powell and Giuliani walk into that court. Flap, they got all their proof. And it's not people that were, sorry, what?
Trump team got rid of Sidney Powell. She's not part of the Trump team
No,
anymore.
I know, but she is still she is still floating around. You never know. She might have something up her sleeve, and Trump is going, no. You are my trump card. You are my ace up my sleeve. Hold up. We're gonna put you over on the side for right now. Because I talked about this in a video, in a pop-up video, because it was a big deal. One moment she was there, the next minute they're like, we have nothing to do with her. She does not work for the Trump personally. Who's to say that she's not on the side doing some investigative work and doing her stuff? She still could be releasing the Kraken. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just saying, regardless, say Giuliani, Powell, whoever, his team come in, flap, files cases and cases and cases of people, proof positive that all this stuff is going down. All this fraudulent stuff is going down. You don't think that they're going to sit there after they've turned the election, changed everything, where everybody was dancing in the streets, excited as hell that Biden won, and now they're saying that Trump won? You don't think that everybody's going to sit there and go, so then whatever happened to all these other elections? Were they rigged too? Does the American citizen vote even matter? Think about it. Maybe, and I mean, this is me just doing a weird left turn in conspiracy stuff, but what if William Barr is sitting there saying that so he doesn't shake the system? I'm sorry for talking crazy. I'm sorry for saying something crazy. But what if? What if he's like, oh, bruh, if they win, this will change everything. American people will feel like their vote does not count anymore. This will start a domino effect of really bad-ish. If Trump wins, if Trump ends up victorious at the end of this will be very, very bad. Because we've all been settled. We've all been settling in, realizing, okay, Trump is gone, Biden's walking in. There's a lot of people out there that are still, of course, understandably, there's a lot of people that are angry, thinking that that Trump should have won, that the election was stolen and all that. Sure. So there will be people, all the Trump supporters will be out in the streets having a very, really, really good time, having a good time, blasting music, waving their MAGA flags and wearing the MAGA gear in joyous victory. But you're telling me that the other half of the world, the other half of the country is just going to sit idly by? They're all going to sit there and say, you just took my rights. You just took my right to vote. Now you're saying my vote don't mean ish. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem, y'all. And you never know. Maybe the mistake happened. Well, the mistake really did happen when mainstream media said that Biden won. They shouldn't have said anything. If they were going to do all this investigation, if they were going to do all this stuff, nothing should have been said then. If there was going to be heavy amounts of investigation and whatnot. That's what I think, David. To me, I feel like William Barr sitting there saying what he said is the nail in the coffin, in my personal opinion. But you know for a fact that Trump is never going to stop. Giuliani is getting paid, so he's not going to stop either. And they're going to continue trying to find anything that they can to prove that there is voter fraud. But I really do think that this is just... this drawn out crap that's going to end up going nowhere. That's what I think.
I agree. I guess, I don't really have much more to say on that.
Right? Yeah, we could beat this horse. You know, it's dead. This horse is dead. But yeah, Zozo Bob, I do agree with that. I think Trump is going to fire Barr for sure. I mean, you know, because anything that's not helping with his narrative, he fires anybody who says no to him. I see that happening very, very soon. But like I said, I mean, you know, if it does end up going into court, if it actually does end up getting beyond where it is right now, we will see things unfold. But like I said, I've said this a million times before. If it does end up turning into something and he wins, the country is going to be really angry, and it's going to be a very bad outcome. And I'm what's the word? I got my fingers crossed, and I'm clutching my Bible. I don't have a Bible, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just going to be singing hymns, a whole bunch of Negro spirituals like Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotta get that vape first.
Yeah. It's like I said, I think it's big news for him to sit there and say, hey, there's nothing fraudulent going on, or there's nothing there's not enough fraudulent action going on for it to change the outcome. I think that's a big deal. That's what I personally think. I think it's a very big deal, y'all. So all we got to do is sit back, relax, drink our beer or our cocktail or our, Shirley Temple, and just wait for more results to come out. Yeah. But anyway, we have gone long past what we were planning on being on, but there was a lot to talk about. There was a whole lot to talk about. All right. But anyway, I appreciate everybody who came on tonight. David, thank you so much for coming on and chopping it up with me, man. I really appreciate it, as always.
Hey, man, it's a good conversation today.
Yeah.
Like always.
Always good conversations. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, especially y'all in the chat. I really do appreciate you guys coming on, chopping it up with us, talking about everything, whether you agree or disagree. I appreciate you just being willing to listen and have a conversation with us. You know what I'm saying? That does mean a tremendous amount. All right. But we will be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. At 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, I have somebody very special coming onto the show. She is a dancer, choreographer. She'll be Skyping in all the way from Detroit. Her name is Della Hamby. She also is a choreographer. She's a dancer and choreographer for Chris Brown. So I'm very excited about having her on to talk about just life. What's it like being a dancer? How COVID is affecting the dance community? How she's staying busy, and she just went from living in LA and she moved back home to Detroit because of all this craziness. And I'm interested to see how she's dealing with, life. Because it is pretty crazy. Life has been really nuts lately. It's funny. Real quick, before I wrap it up, that's what he said. But before I wrap it up, I was thinking of doing a Christmas special. I don't know what you guys think, but that's why I wanted to throw it out to you guys and see your thoughts on this. Because I got some ideas. I got some ideas like skits, like something fun, something safe. It won't be anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? It won't be anything crazy as far as like it'll be very, very quarantined-esque. But I was thinking of doing a Christmas special because I think that we all need, or like a holiday special. I'm sorry, because some people aren't, celebrating Christmas. Some celebrate Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. But I wanted to, I was thinking of doing something like that. I don't know. Think about it. Let me know what you guys think on that. You know what I mean? And you know what? I already know, because Yogi just said something about thanks for the puppy updates. You know what? Here it is. I'm going to show you my pregnant dog. Hold up. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. She's going to hate me. Hold up. She's pregnant as hell. I'll be right back. Oh, she's as big as a house, man. Hold on. Okay. All right. So, yeah, she's angry. Ooh, she angry. Hi, baby. So this, she's got lint in her fur, but this is Juliet, and she is prego as hell. I mean, I'm trying to lift her up, but you can see. She is preggers. She is very pregnant right now. She's about to pop. So, ooh, she's angry. It's okay, baby. All right. So, anyway, for those of y'all, something I was thinking about doing a holiday show, kind of like a holiday special, kind of whole bunch of skits, maybe some musical numbers, that kind of thing. Just kind of bring some holiday joy back into, it's called a microphone, sweetie. Bring some holiday joy into the show and all that. It's something I haven't done in a really long time. So I was thinking of maybe doing something like that and wanted to see what you guys thought. Yeah. Aw. So you got a white version of Juliet. That's great, Zozo Bob. My puppy, oh ho ho ho. Yes, she is. You damn hussy. What? What'd you say?
She heard it and looked up at you.
Yeah. Ho ho ho. Hey Juju. Hi baby. She's my girl. All right. Yeah, she about to pop. But anyway, I appreciate all you guys. I'm gonna let her. Yeah, Yogi. I'm literally like COVID centric Christmas stuff like that. But skits, things to make people feel good, things to make people chuckle, and just bring the holiday spirit, because I know a lot of people are missing the holiday spirit right now. Even for me, like, and on a selfish tip, real talk, on a selfish tip, y'all. I want to do this because I don't feel like Christmas is here right now. I don't feel any holiday spirit at all. So personally, on a real tip, I would love to be able to do something and have some fun with for you guys and do something special. It sucks because David doesn't live anywhere near me, but I got to come up with something to get you involved. First, we got to get you a damn new freaking webcam, because that is trash. And I keep telling you that, but yeah.
It's artistic.
Yes, it's the mosaic version of David. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Not the sculpture of David, just the mosaic. But anyway, guys, it's something I'm thinking about. Nikki, thank you so much. Yes, she is very pretty. She is very preggers. She is prego. But yeah, but of course, when the puppies come, I'm sure you guys will see them too. You know what I'm saying? The fam got to see the puppies. Y'all got to see the puppies. All right, I'm putting you down, baby, so I can say bye to these people. Say bye. Say bye, Juju. See, yeah. You hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
She is angry. There you go, baby. Yeah, she hates it. Growing pains, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I really appreciate everybody. You guys are all the bomb. It is time to get going. She just disappeared. I don't know where she is. But anyway, it's time to get going. Y'all be safe. Y'all be happy. Do something positive tonight. You know what I'm saying? Go, I don't know, soak yourself in Epsom salt or something like that. I don't know. You know what, Yogi, thank you so much for that $10 tip, because that is exactly what is going to go to. It's going to go towards a new damn webcam for this dude, because I'm tired of seeing his mosaic ass. I'm tired of seeing, like, I have a foggy freaking, like a foggy freaking contact lens or something like that. That's what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Or you put in the contact lens backwards.
The new one.
Say again, what?
What's up? So I'll make sure to set up a blur effect in the new one, so you feel comfortable with the video.
See then I'll be like, that's normal. Yes. That's the other thing. There's the other thing. I've also thought about starting a membership on this page, so that it's like, hey, for $1 a month, you guys get this extra stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you sign up to this membership type thing. I've thought about doing that. I just feel weird turning to you guys and being like, give me monies. You know what I'm saying? But it is something I'll have to think about. You know what I mean? I'll catch you tomorrow. Anyone want to take the next day? Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anything to get him a new damn motherfreaking webcam, because I'm tired of seeing his mosaic ass. But anyway, the donations, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Zozo Bob, you can donate right here on the show. Membership is the new normal, Pascal. You're absolutely right, man. I just feel weird. You know what I mean? Yogi, I feel weird, bruh. I feel weird going like, give me money. Give me monies. But I've been thinking about it like, hey, you know, $1.99 a month, you guys get this, you know, extra behind the scenes stuff or whatever, so that it keeps the ball moving, or it keeps the keeps hope alive. You know what I mean? But that would be dope. Oh, don't? Did he say don't? Yogi Fish says don't. I guess don't. Don't. Yeah, you know, Jalen, that's not a bad idea. Ask my fan base and just see where it goes from there. I think that's fair. I just, like I said, I feel weird. Oh, don't feel bad. Thank you. No, you're right, Yogi. F you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lion. I'm not a sheep. Right, Candace? Anyway, no, but that's something that I've been thinking about for real. Like, you know, actually, David, Jack, and I have all three of us have talked about this quite a bit. And I'm like, you know, just been on the fence about that. You know what I'm saying? But I will start it because it is something that we need. You know, it could really help with a few things, like him getting a new freaking webcam. Holy God. But it could also help with a bunch of other things. You know, like we got other things. No, Yogi, I appreciate you. But I would want to, shoot, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. You know, like you know, we're working on new merch because we really want to push merchandise like crazy, so that you guys can like watch or like buy, you know, t-shirts and stuff like that, but not just the logo kind of stuff, like customized, really special t-shirts and hats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like those are the things that I'm working on right now. Because, you know, the platform has been growing and, y'all have been dope. You know what I mean? Really, really dope. Zozo Bob, how much is a webcam? The webcam I was looking at for him is about $109. There it is. Mr. T, I want a Pascal Chia pet. Bruh, that is genius, actually. Can you make that? Is that possible?
Probably. Someone with
Oh,
that.
wow. Nikki, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, Nikki. Dang. Well, you know, actually, I want to get a new computer. So that is... I want a new car, and that's about...
So you're getting greedy and already trying to milk it off?
Yeah, I'll be like, in fact, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to buy a wedding ring. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally kidding. But for with an afro, you know what I mean? Man, Mr. T, that'd be hilarious. You know, what I need to look at, because there's like some new stuff. My girl is starting to do all this crazy stuff with resin. You seen these things? Like where you can just make, and you could basically make like shot glasses or like dominoes, you know, like little dominoes, you know, that kind of thing. She's been really starting to get into those things. Also, it looks like in the very near future, I'm going to be coming out with a line of silk masks. The reason why you ask is because no one's asking, but I'm going to tell you anyway. One, they're just as effective as N95 masks, and they're much more forgiving on your face. So instead of getting that mask knee that a lot of people have been getting because they're wearing those masks all the time, it is a lot more forgiving on the skin, on your face. So that's something that I'm working on as well. You know? So thank you so much for the $2. Jalen, I really do appreciate that. And like I said, I mean, I you know, we will be on tomorrow. So, I mean, if you guys are sitting there going, you know, I don't know, I got a little bit. If you want to donate tomorrow, you're more than welcome to. That would be amazing because it would be the same webcam. Just so you know, it would be the same webcam that Jack uses. And Jack's webcam is really nice. So he'd be getting the same damn thing. Just so y'all know. And maybe we get him a ring light or something like that so we can see his pretty face a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you're asking for too much now.
You know, we want to see this, you know what I'm saying? You know, we want to see it in all of its glory. All of its glory. But anyway. Okay. I think that's enough. We're going to be on tomorrow, though, for real. We'll be on tomorrow morning. If you guys feel compelled to donate or to give, by all means, please. That would be really dope. That would be dope. I'm trying to remember what it was. I have it written down. Hold on. We're going to look at it. Hold on. Because I don't want you guys thinking that I'm faking the funk here. Because I'm not. I'm really not. I swear to God. Let's take a look at this real quick. There you go. Hey, baby. All right. So it's the Logitech. Oh, yeah. Okay. So at Walmart. Shoot, we're going to look at it together. Sorry. I don't want you guys thinking that I'm trying to lie. But real talk, this is the one that we've been looking at. So it's $79 at, I guess, at Logitech. But Walmart, $109. Then another one for $90. So there you go. You know what I mean? So, Zozo Bob, you can donate. If you go to this, there's a like a money symbol on the bottom where you comment, where you're putting in your comments. You click on the button, the money icon, and then you can donate 5 cents if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. Zozo Bob, you have to get him a ring light too. Yeah, absolutely. Don't do cheap. I ain't about that life, baby. You know what I'm saying? We want to see his purty face. You know what I mean? We want to see it all. Beard. You do have it's a mighty beard. It's a very Zeus-ish type of beard. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm trying to bring you back up here. There you go. Yes. I mean, he Vidal Sassoons his beard. You know for a fact. He flat irons his hair. I mean, his beard. You know for a fact. My beard. You know what I'm saying? He puts hot oils and everything. You know what I'm saying? He ain't messing around. What is a ring light? A ring light is basically something that goes around. It's something that goes around the camera, or like goes behind the camera, and it's just one big ring light. Oh, I got it. Here you go. You want to know what a ring light is? I got it in here. It's in here every single day. It's in here every single day. Boom. You see it? That is a ring light right behind me. Right there that I'm pointing. That is a ring light. And the thing lights up, and it's really good. It gets the job done. Jack has the same thing. Not that one, but he has a smaller one. You know what I mean? So, there you go. There you have it. But anyway, I got to get going, guys. Okay? I do really appreciate the donations. I really do appreciate that. I think I'm going to get this membership thing started. You know, I'm going to get it going. You know, like I said, it could help with getting a few things for the show, getting a few things, you know, because obviously I live by pumping out as many videos as I bloody can. So it's definitely something that I definitely want to do. And I think that would help with the show, making the show better and all that too. So I really do appreciate that. You know what I mean? It's all set dollar amounts. Yes, that's true too. So I'll just have to sit down and do something with it over this coming weekend, and then I'll be pumping it out. Because like I said, I mean, it would be dope. I mean, you know, I am doing a lot of traveling and doing a lot of interviews, and those things get very expensive, especially I'm just pulling that out of my own pocket. It can be very expensive. So being able to get some financial help from the family would really mean a lot, actually. And then we can get rid of this ugly ass webcam that he got. Like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to vomit. Oh, just want to vomit.
I'll even show everyone my dog once I get a decent camera.
Well, they see the dog.
Well, they don't see him very well.
Well, he's there. Look at him. He's right there. It's Zeus, right?
No, it's Napoleon.
Oh, it's Napoleon. My bad.
Yeah.
Why do I think Zeus?
I don't know.
Napoleon.
That's what you said about my beard, I guess.
Yes, there you go. You know what I mean? And Yogi, thank you so much. I'm glad that you really enjoyed the Roy Jones interview. You know, he was a big fish and he was a hard fish to catch. So I really appreciate the support and the love. That really does mean a lot. You know what I mean? But anyway, I got to get going, guys. I'm sorry. We could talk for hours. I know that for a fact. We could definitely talk for hours. We will be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Obviously, I'm sure more ish is hitting the fan as we are talking right now, as we speak. And we will be talking about those crazy things tomorrow morning. And hopefully, Jack will be with us tomorrow morning as well. So, but I do have a very dope interview with a wonderful human being. Della Hamby is going to be on tomorrow morning. I'm excited about having her on. She's very talented, and it's going to be really fun. How much are those? I am assuming you're talking about the ring light. The ring lights are like $75 to $100, to be really honest. Like the one that's right behind me, that one's about $75. You know, found it online, cheap. It gets the job done. That thing is amazing. I've had it for years, and it gets the job done. You know what I mean? So he would just need something along the lines of that. I have something completely different. My setup is completely different now. You know what I mean? I have lights and all that stuff now. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, my whole setup is a little bit different than it used to be. It used to be with that light. And you could tell the difference. If you go all the way back to when I first started streaming, and then when I started changing the room, when I started painting the room and I changed the room, you see the difference. The things change. Things changed quickly. But I knew that this was the thing I was going to be doing. You know, I was going to invest my time, invest some money into this, invest into my business. And, you know, so far it's been very, very nice. You know what I mean? Yep, Yogi Fish. Yep. He most definitely has a witness protection camera. You know what I mean? If he got murdered, I wouldn't be able to see who was the culprit, who was the murderer. I wouldn't be able to see it because he's got that whack ass webcam. You know what I'm saying? He's back with us again. Seriously, he's like, you got that witness protection camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I mean, like, what?
I gotta keep all my secrets, you know that.
It's hilarious, man. But yeah, Jalen, you know what I mean? We've come a long way since 7-8 months ago. You know what I'm saying? There's been quite a change, you know, quite a movement that has happened over the past 7-8 months. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a big change. It was a huge change. But anyway, again, for the 15th time, I'm going to get going. Like I said, I could talk to you guys forever. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I got a very special person coming on, dancer, choreographer, Della Hamby. It's going to be really dope. Really great conversation. Not only just that, we're going to be talking about all the things that are going on in the news. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I love you guys. You guys are dope. I love my fam. Y'all are amazing people. You guys are the bomb. And I wouldn't be doing this show if I didn't have you guys around. And so I love you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. You can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all that. So what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.